ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि। रामानुजदया पात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्। சீருன்றுதூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாருன்றச் சொன்ன பரமொழியுள் ஓருன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்க வானிரப்போமளவும் வாழ்வர்.
Well, we are going through the page 151 on Pancaratra Raksa, and yesterday we saw the page 150 about Sayam's Sandhya Upasanam, and so we have the bounden duty to perform all the rituals, if possible fire rituals, Agni Homaha, Ishtihi, Agnihotram, and so on. So we are here now. Mahapradoshe, we saw what are we to do in the evening twilight during Trayodasi day, 13th day. And we are now taking to page 151. Evam, in this way, Tatkala Niyata Savitri Homa Adi Vyatirikta Dashayam Pradosha Akhya Kale Mauna Vidhanat Mantra Japadikam Api Varjaniyam. Very important that our silent vow should not be broken at any cost. That's a rule here. So Tatkala Niyata. So it has been fixed, Niyata fixed at that time, relevantly. Savitri Homa. Savitri Homa is nothing but Savitra plus Savitri Homa. Savitra is Savita. Savita means sun god. Again, Surya Mandala Madhyavarti Sriman Narayanaha. Therefore, so when we perform what we call the Sandhya, Tri Sandhya, we say Sandhyayai Namaha. Then we have Savitriyai Namaha on the southern side, and Saraswati Namaha, Gayatriyai Namaha. All the four names, as I have been telling you earlier, refer to Mahalakshmi more importantly than Mahavishnu. The female form of the same God. So we have to remember that. Supposing, so when we have finished the rituals, fire rituals, like Savitri Homa, then we have a time duration, small time duration, Vyatirikta Dashayam, when it is different from that particular time, namely rituals. Pradosha Akhya Kale. To add with the two letters, Mahapradosha Akhya Kale, especially on the Trayodashi day, Mauna Vidhanat. So while we are observing strict silence, then Mantra Japadikam Api Varjaniyam. We are not supposed to murmur, say it in the heart, any japam. In order to compensate what we did not do as a fire, in the case of fire ritual, there the compensation occurs by our meditation of the spells. For example, Agnihotra mantra should be recited. Then japa, as we do any type of japa, upasana we say. Then, so that is what we call remedy for not performing the fire ritual, which we have not learnt, unfortunately. But in the silence period, you have to avoid these japas, meditations, mantra japa. So, Yatha Uktam, as it is said, Krishna Mantra Kalpe. This is another book called Krishna Mantra Kalpaha. Japet na sandhya kaleshu, pradosheshu, ashubheshu cha. Already we saw the word dosha, pradosha, mahapradosha. Dosha defect, pradosha highly defective, mahapradosha very highly defective. Time, namely the twilight time, the sunset or sunrise also. Here we are referring to sunset. So here, of course, this word, this quotation contains all the three. Sandhya Kalish. Maybe even in the meridian, that is the noon time also, we are not supposed to recite mantras while it is fixed as silence hour. Silence hour. And because they are inauspicious. Ashubhe Shucha. So what is Ashubhe Shucha? Whenever we have some what we call taboo, even manasika, right? Even manasika. Even manasika is to be avoided. You are not, I told you, the lip movement is seen when you do japa. Even you cut short the lip movement and then you do it in the heart. No, during silence hours. Again, Ashubeshu, we are supposing there is a very, very close relative's demise, then we are, if we are to observe because of the, what you call the relation called Dayadi, we say in Tamil Pangali. So when we have a share, though we don't have a share of the property of the ancestors, so we have a relationship by which we have what we call in Tamil Tittu. So that is what we call Ashaucham in Sanskrit. Ashaucham, meaning we are not pure. That meaning, again, so, but the very curious fact is, Gayatri Japa should not be avoided, and Gayatri should be done by heart. Mentally, you must go through the Gayatri Japa, and less number. A concession is there, only 10 Gayatri time, 10 times Gayatri are recited during the what we call the Ashaucha period. Again, so let me not only say the what we call the Aparakarya, the Purvakarya also. In our family, a new baby is born. The baby is born for the first 11 days. Yeah, mantra, you are chanting like Ashtakshara. Ashtakshara is not supposed to be done. It is not to be meditated. Very, very, very important question. neither Ashtakshara nor Dwadasakshara, any mantra for that matter, like Dvayam, Charama Shloka, Shi mantra, all these are to be not to be uttered during the what you call the period, taboo period. Therefore, Gayatri is the only exception. Gayatri is the only exception. So it should be done, but it should not be done aloud. It's not only that, less number of Gayatri. Today, even when we are advised to do 1008 times Gayatri every day, 3 times, we sometimes, many of us do 10 times. Because you do 10 times on other auspicious hours, doesn't mean you must reduce it to 5 in the inauspicious hour. The very twilight is inauspicious hour. The very twilight is inauspicious hour. Why? So we have the mantra saying, during Shraddha we mention it, namely the Gayatri mantra, which we utter and offer libation of water, argyam, to the Lord. The particles of water, the drops of very small drops of water, become what we call Vajrayudha, the thunderbolt. Otherwise, with many names, it's called with many names. Damboli is called Damboli. If you have studied Garuda Dandaka of Swami Vedanta Deshika, you would have understood the word Damboli. Damboli meaning Vajrayudha. Vajrayudha, whenever we say Vajrayudha, Vajrayudha has relation with Indra, the god of gods, the leader of 33 crores of gods. And again, it is not his prerogative to use the weapon, of course. We say, according to our understanding, practical understanding, the thunder that you hear from the clouds. You say scientifically, the clouds dash with each other, and therefore the thunder occurs. It's called a thunderbolt. So these drops of arghya of Gayatri Japa become thunderbolt. Each one becomes the thunderbolt and show away, not hit actually, not kill, show away the demons who are attacking the sun every day, every twilight. That even gods are not spared. Why I say this is, in Taittiriya Upanishad you have the words that whenever the demigods, I say demigods, particularly demigods, all other gods are demigods, starting from Brahma up to any god any divinity that you mention is a demigod, meaning inferior in status. And therefore, all gods are troubled, given trouble often, frequently they are troubled. Why? Because even they forget the Almighty. They easily do not remember Lord Sriman Narayan. That is the very question why even gods are often troubled. Frequently they are in danger. All the gods are in risk. No god is permanent. No demigod is permanent in the world. Starting from Brahma. Brahma has a lifespan, of course, longest lifespan compared to the human beings. Of course, unimaginably long, but at the same time, the one Brahma is only a temporary incumbent. Therefore, now, so that means, so during the what we call inauspicious hours also, Gayatri Japa is not to be avoided, but not other mantras. We are not supposed to recite scriptures. So Vishuvayanadishu too, this word I think, Vishu we have heard about what we call the beginning of the year, but Vayanadishu, I can't separate that word, Vishu, Vayanadishu. But in these times, what we call Swadhyaya Japa matram nishidhyate. Remember, only the meditation or the self-study are prohibited, banned. Mantra japadikam tu vidhiyate. So, what is there's a very slight difference between, the minute difference between these two. Namely, when you do a self-study, that self-study time is different from Mahapradosha Kala. That you must be very clear. It is not same. Mahapradosha Kala time is different, completely different from your self-study, Swadhyaya. So during your Swadhyaya, you can meditate upon the learned scriptures and then it is not banned. Whereas mantra japadikam tu vidhiyate. Sorry, they are banned. So even during their self-study, that is, yesterday we understood, Raghuraman has to come only today. When we understood that in the morning of the day, that is after we get up from sleep, Abhigamanam is done first time. So again Abhigamanam is done in the evening time, in the case of, especially in the case of temples. And for example, at our home, what we do is we ask our life partner to lit the lamp. That is the indication of the Abhigamanam. So we should pray there in the sanctum sanctorum of our home. And then after that Abhigamanam, we have Swadhyaya and Yoga. So during this Swadhyaya is prohibited during Mahapradosha Kala. That is the inauspicious hour. Ayana generally meaning 6 months time, the duration. Dakshinayana, Uttarayana. But Ayanam contains 6 seasons. Sorry, not 6 seasons, 3 seasons. 3 seasons. The whole year has got 6 seasons. Ritu. And Ayana has got 3 Ritus. And there is no, I think, if you separate Ayana, the first word is not correct. Vishuva, you cannot have Vishuva. Or the printing mistake must be there. Vishvayanadishu. Vishvayanadishu will be better. Ayana is, as you said, walking a road, path. Oh, that is, for example, Ramayanam. Ayanam means path. Ayanam means road. Ayanam means direction. Ayanam means guidance. That's all. But whereas here, it is Ayanam is a time duration, 6 months. Generally 6 months. So meaning here, in this particular Ayanam, when we say Dakshinayana Punya Kalaha, we say, while we get the southern half of the year. And also for the northern half of the year, we say Uttarayanam. Uttarayanam begins by what you call the Thai month, Tamil Thai month, first day. So after Dhanur Masa, after the what we call Margashirsha month, in Sanskrit it's called Margashirsha, otherwise called Dhanur Masa, otherwise called Chapa Masa. So after that, 30 days of Margari, we have the first day of Uttarayana. So from Uttarayana, you calculate 6 months, and again we have Dakshinayana. So tomorrow, Adi. Tomorrow, Adi Mada Perapu is there. Tomorrow, the what you call Ravi Sankramanam. Tomorrow, so we have what you call Dakshinayana. So both are auspicious hours. Many people say Uttarayana is more meritorious than Dakshinayana. Nothing like that, nothing of that sort. So Dakshinayana is equally meritorious and Uttarayana is exactly meritorious, equally meritorious with Dakshinayana. So, I mean, we must always consider that our time is good time. In English, we say, just for joke, because it is my insufficient time. Porada kalam. So Tamil we say porada kalam. That means when we have some luck less, when we are not very fortunate, we say porada kalam. We say in English translation, literal translation, insufficient time. So it is not, it's not so. So all times are good times. God created this column. Bhagavan Sriman Narayana created this time. And he sticks to the guns. He sticks to this time. So he follows and he makes us follow. He expects us to follow. So now given your question is answered here in this sentence. Uktam cha ashtakshara japasya nityatvam bodhayane. But some books like Bodhayana Sutram, they prescribe the 8-syllable spell can be meditated. So Uktam said, chant ashtakshara japasya nityatvam. It can be permanent. So there is no harm in doing ashtakshara. That is, there are the reason behind Gayatri and Ashtakshara are so powerful that the meditation of these two mantras will not be negative in result. That's the meaning. The mantras are so powerful, both Gayatri and Ashtakshara. According to Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya only, so this mantra is very powerful. And all others can understand that the power. Ashtakshara, by Ashtakshara mantra, one can reap lot of benefits. Again, we are not supposed to remember the advantages that we want to have through the japam of Ashtakshara. That is different. So, evam, in this way, guroho, by the teacher's advice, by teacher's permission, by teacher's approval, by the preceptor's nod of head. So samarabhya, start it in the right earnest, we say. Samarabhya. The Sanskrit word is very beautiful in translation. Start at the right earnest. Then mantra anushtanam achari. So start the what you call the duty, anushtanam, the duty, daily duty of reciting the mantras, spells. So what is the mantra here? Ashtaksharam Japet. The 8-syllable spell should be meditated upon. Then Vidwan, who is to do it? A scholar. So a scholar meaning I am not a scholar in the sense, no. I must be a scholar. I must become a scholar. You cannot escape by saying I am not a scholar. I'm ignorant of this. I don't know. For example, our present preceptor, 46th Pontiff, Rayampete Ayeshinger, his Tanin is Vedanta Deshika Yatindra Katakshalabdha, Tayantasara Manavadya Gunam Budhagriyam, Narayanadya Yatidharya Kripabhishiktam, Sri Ranganathayati Shekharam Ashrayama. He has prescribed accents for Ashtakshara. Many of us do not know. I knew it through his Nrsimhapriya. There is Udatta and Anudatta Swara in the 8-syllable spell, Ashtakshara. That must be said according to him. He is a Rigvedi, very strict, staunch Rigvedi, and he was a Nityagnihotri in his previous ashrama. And we must remember our preceptor also. So it is said as you just he gave in the chat, Vidwan Nityam Ashtasahasrakam. 1008. Let us be very careful in understanding. Suppose we say 8,000. Ashtasahasram. Ashtasahasram normally meaning 8,000. It cannot be done as Ashtasahasram because of the paucity of the letters. We have the Ashtottara Sahasram is avoided here. But it will be understood as Keshavdas Swami said, Ashtasahasrakam. Supposing you are asked to do 8,000, we will run away. Dvandva Samadhi. It cannot be a Dvandva Samasa. Ashtaucha, Ashtaucha, Sahasram cha. It cannot be a Dvandva Samasa. It cannot be a Dvandva Samasa. Neither it can mean 1008. But suppose we say Ashtaucha, Sahasram cha, then as you say, calculation is 1000 plus 8. That is right. But this is not the way we number in Sanskrit. This is what just because there are some deviations from Sanskrit grammar in such shastras. In order that the import is important than the literal meaning. Generally, it should be 8,000. I think you have heard about a particular subsect in the Advaiti called Ashtasagasa. Okay. The Vatima, Vadama, Brihacharanam, and Ashtasagasa. There are 4 types of subsects in Advaitins. Right. So then Ajasvashtaksharam mantra. What is that? Ajaptva. Okay. Ajaptva Ashtaksharam mantra. Suppose we miss this. Suppose we don't do that. Naham Ashnami Kinchan. I cannot take food. I am not eligible to take food. Nothing. I should gobble nothing. Na kinchana aham ashnami. Take a vow that after performing the Ashtakshara mantra japa only, I will take food. Have some conviction. Be firm. Be sure that before food, meditate on the say 8 syllables. How long will you do that? Yavad jeepam jeevam japa. As long as I live, I must not take food before not doing the Ashtakshara. So yavad jeevam japami iti paschat aharahar japa. We must not miss a day also. I am sick, therefore I could not do. I travel, therefore I could not do. No lame excuse must be given. எந்த ஷாக்கும் சொல்லக்கூடாது. நான் அஷ்டாட்சர மந்திர ஜபம் பண்றதுக்கு எத்தனையோ காரணம் சொல்லக்கூடாது. We are not supposed to say any lame excuse, reason, false reason for not meditating upon the 8-syllable spell before taking food. In the particular case, I think we know, you know, in our Sannidhi Sampradaya, as Keshavadana Swami said it yesterday, Sri Sannidhi Sampradaya, we have before Upasthana Mantra, whatever be the number of the Gayatri Japa that we do, we must also do Ashtakshara Mantra Japa. So, whereas all other Sri Vaishnava Sampradayas differ from this here. Very little difference. Nothing affects you. Nothing bothers you. And the very important aspect is Ashtakshara Japa. Look at that next line. Ashtakshara Japaha yasya nityaha naimityakaha pitava. So I don't think that you can avoid it in the, what do you call the concession. Is it occasional duty or daily duty? No, it is daily duty. It is not occasional duty. What is occasional duty? Tomorrow, we do what we call Pitru Tarpanam tomorrow because of the Ravi Sankramanam of the first day of the month. And especially, we prepare a dish, what we call the coconut milk to offer to the god. Special dish is coconut milk should be offered to the god tomorrow. Remember Venugopala Swami? So, squeeze the grated coconut, not diluted milk. Concentrated coconut milk should be offered. highly concentrated coconut milk should be offered. No water should be added. So the Tarpanam, because of the Pitru Tarpanam, because of the Pitru Tarpanam, tomorrow will be called Naimittika Karma. The Pitru Tarpanam is called Naimittika Karma. It comes occasionally, once in a month only. But Amavasya comes regularly. The Amavasya comes regularly. Again, in the monthly Pitru Tarpanam, out of the 12 months, we have a concession for the people, for us, to do 4 times a year instead of 12 times a year. But we must not take the concession. We must not utilize the concession. As far as possible, we must do that, because two reasons for that. For even Amavasya Tarpanam, new moon day ritual, obsequies we say, or this Ravi Sankramana Tarpanam, it involves 15 minutes duration, minimum, say. So let us not shake off this schedule and say, I have no time to perform this. And again, it is not costly also, because the sesame or gingerly seeds are not very costly to buy, and therefore the only water is to be used. Good water must be used. One must not shirk the responsibility. SHIRK. Shirk the responsibility of performing this tarpanam for the ancestors. Again, we are all thinking of the future generations' welfare. That also must not be thought of. But because we are doing tarpanam regularly, Sankranti is otherwise called Sankramanam. That's all. The special name is on the particular day, namely on the Thai month day. So otherwise, Sankranti is every month occurs. Sankranti. Sankramanam, it's only union, association. It is not a war. It's not a war. So Ashtarthya Japo Yasya Nityaha Naimitikopi Va Kamyo Vapi. Suppose you expect some fruits from doing this, what we call Ashtarthya Japa, Bhavet Tasya Nitya Devarchana Smriti. The worship of the Lord Almighty should involve Ashtakshara Japa. For example, while we perform the Thiruvaradhanam, the Shri Aradhanam, we say the patras are purified. The vattil Tamil vattil. The 5 normally we keep it, and sometimes we have 3 in temples. So patra parikalpana. That's called patra parikalpana. As you say. Very good. So when you say patra parikalpanam, we must say the Ashtakshara. Om Namo Narayanaya Argyapatram Parikalpayami Argyam Parikalpayami Om Namo Narayanaya Padyapatram Parikalpayami Padyam Parikalpayami Om Namo Narayanaya. So Padya Parikalpayami will be 2 times. Every time you must utter the mantra. Again, Om Namo Narayanaya Achamaniya Parikalpayami. Again, Om Namo Narayanaya Snanam Parikalpayami. Again, Om Namo Narayanaya Sarvarthatoyam Parikalpayami. You must say all this. Every time you are not supposed to say. And of course, without any other thought in the mind except Devarchana. So here, Nitya Devarchana is given there, number 2, footnote. Then, so it is permanent, it is forever, it is daily duty. Whether it is for Kamyaha, some desirable end, or some other, generally for the sake of Narayana iti samatpaya. Sattvika Tyaga, with the what you call, with an attitude of Sattvika Tyaga, we are supposed to do anything. Here, na cha atra mauna vidhikale bhagavad dharma viched. So, in this, what you call, silence hour, mauna vidhikale, silence hour, bhagavan na bhagavad dharma vicheda. There is no difference between sampradayas, traditions. Whether it is Sri Vaishnava or Smarta or Madhva Sampradaya. So, Maunam during the silence hour, there is no difference at all while doing the duty. So, Tadanim at that time, Yathavidi, according to the rule, Mauna Anushthanasya eva, so while we follow silence hour, Bhagavat Seva Rupatvat. So, when you say silence hour, now just now Kedya Swami asked, can you not do anything by Manasika? Manasika japa is to be avoided. Then what should we do? Yeah, can we remain idle? Can we remain still? Can we remain inert? No, cannot be possible. Therefore, so we have to remember Bhagavat Seva Rupatva. So we can remember what should be done next. What should be the procedure next? Pravritti Vishaya. Pravritti Vishaya. What are we to do positively? And again, Nivritti Vishaya. What should we avoid? What should we abstain from? What should we do? So in the next moment, so we close the silence hour and start doing, because we have already planned in our mind. Remember in our mind. Recall to your mind what we should do. Nivritti Vishayava. And again remember, my thought of planning and executing and avoiding all this is based on Bhagavad Ajna eva, by the order of the Lord, by the instruction of the Lord, by the strict what we call the scriptural injunction. Scriptural injunction is our Shrutihi mama eva ajna. Bhagavad Gita verse. Shrutihi mama eva ajna. My orders are available in scriptures. Look at them, follow them. Sarvada anuvartaniya. So, without any transgression, digression, deviation, disobedience, we must follow all the time. Sarvada anuvartaniya. We must follow these procedures according to the scriptures. Iti achidra anusthana siddhi. Now, this is achidra is a very beautiful scriptural portion, which by blessings of Acharya and God, I went through along with another professor, Dr. K. Srinivasan from NIT Trichy. He joined me to recite Achidra. Of course, it contains a lot of names of other gods also. And the word Achidra meaning a hole, H-O-L-E, meaning a lacuna, a deficiency. And Achidram is no deficiency, no loophole to find, no defect to find out. So Achidra Anusthana Siddhi. There you have the success there by following the strict way of recitation of Achidra. And it says these words. What is that? Free from clefts, flaws, yes, unbroken, uninterrupted, uninjured, right? English language is a prolific language. But English should be helpful to understand the Sanskrit words. Sanskrit words are majestic. with a simple single term, it gives you elaborate explanation in all other languages. And English is closer to Sanskrit, and therefore we can have many adjectives for a single term in Sanskrit. That is a beauty. The Sanskrit is what we call brief in nature. Brevity is the soul of wit in the proverb in English. Within just 2 lines, we have got lot of what we call inner, deeper sense. So, yadyapi cha, suppose atat kriyasya, so some dereliction of duty happens. Atat kriyasya. So, suppose we miss doing anything as prescribed. That is, we are not observing strict silence. We are doing japa on the wrong time during delight pradoshe and mahapradoshe. Can we go and worship God? You are in the temple. You are in the temple. You are in the sanctum sanctorum. You are the priest. I am the priest at home. I am at my puja room. But is it right to have a darshan for the Lord of the Lord? No. Hari darshanadikam pratishidhyate. You are not supposed to look at the figure of God. Salagrama, what you call the metal vigraha, and so on. That's called Divya Mangala Vigraha. Hari darshanadikam pratishidhyate. Tachana during pradosha, during pradosha, silent hour. Then tacha anupalitam parama ekantibihi bhashyakaradibihi tatapi swagriha acharyaha tatkriyatvat tadanu. Then how do you know that we are not supposed to look at the Lord? Tacha anupalitam. It has been followed. It has been strictly followed by parama ekantibihi. For those who are highly concentrating only on the Almighty. Parama ekantibi. They are alone, they are single, they never disobey the orders of God. That is, they don't disobey the scriptures. Parame ekantibihi. Sometimes they remain alone so that no disturbance is impending. Then who is the special person called Paramekanti? Bhashyakara. Bhashyakara is Sri Ramanuja. Sri Ramanujacharya is a Bhashyakara. We never say all others who have commented on that are called Bhashyakaras. There is only one term Bhashyakara referred first time referring to only Sri Ramanujacharya, not even Shankaracharya who wrote Bhashyam, Shankara Bhashyam before Ramanujacharya. So whenever say Sri Bhashyam, it refers to the commentary written by Sri Ramanujacharya, and Bhashyakara, the name was is a connotation to only to Ramanujacharya, not even to other commentators like Madhvacharya, and so many other preceptors came later. So Bhashyakara Adibihi. Of course, we associate with Ramanujacharya all other preceptors, those who are strict in adherence. Tathapi, Swagriha, no, what is more important for us is who is the Acharya at our home? Who is the eldest and one who is strict in adherence? So, Swagriha Acharyaha. So, sometimes we have a clan called in Shiva Vaishnava Sampradaya, Swayam Acharya. There are very, very orthodox good people who follow strictly all the instructions without any deviation, and they have the right to give us in our family what we call the Tapta Mudra, the Samashayanam, and also Bharanyas. So today, unfortunately, Orthodox people are rare, and therefore Anushtatas are rare, and therefore we shift our responsibility to the other acharyas available today. So Swagriha Acharyaha Tat Kriyatvat Tadanukti. Because they do that in the right way, we get the permission to do this way. Uktam cha, it is also said, evam this way, bodhayaniye Purana Sara Samuchaya. So it is, the book is called Purana Sara Samuchayam. All books end in Napumsakalinga, neuter gender. That is the rule. But sometimes we say it in Pullinga and Strilinga. And my Sanskrit teacher would always agree only with the Napumsakalinga name for all books, whatever be the book. Even when the author has named it in different lingas, genders. So Bodhayana is a rishi, a sage, who has written the book called Purana Sara Samuchaya. It also echoes the same ideas. It also echoes the same idea. So we will see the first paragraph of the book. We will go to the Swadhyaya Yogayoho Anuyagat Purvameva Samakritya Anushtanam. That bold letter, the title of the next paragraph will maybe taken later. So we will see the first verse here, page 152. Sa Astha. We must read it so that we will understand it clearly. Sada Sevyaha. Sastu Kalataha. Swagrihe Sarvada Sevyaha. Madhyaratra. Madhyaratre Uparagadi Nimitta Visheshve. Snanadi Purvaka Bhagavat Seva Japa Adikam Avashya Kartavyataya Vidhiyate Iti Na Viroda. Now Asthanastaha, meaning, I'll tell you another word, Vyasa Pitastha. Vyasa Pitastha. So those who are really eligible, fit enough to be acharyas to advise all of us. So he is on the what you call the Simhasana. We have acharyas sitting in Simhasana, the lion throne. So that is what we call Asthanastha. So Sada Sevyaha, he must be worshipped all the time. That's what I said, Vyasa Pitaha, Pitam. So Pita Arohanam we say. We had in Kashmir, even today I think we have Saraswati Pitam in Kashmir. Saraswati Jnana Pitam. All the Pandits were put to test, and goddess of knowledge herself gave a certificate in those days, especially to Sri Ramanujacharya also, who went there to collect what we call the book of the commentary Shruta Prakashika for the Sri Bhashyam from Kashmir. Kashmir is a very great seat of scholars, Sanskrit scholars, very great seat of Pandits. And therefore, Bodhayana Vritti was got from there. Right, right. So a preceptor must be, the highest preceptor must be worshipped. He must be served. It's not worshipped, but served, helped. Then Vimanat Sastu Kalata. So Vimanasaha is Lord Sri Ranganatha. Yeah, every temple has got a Vimanam, a special name also. Here we have Omkara Vimanam, Pranavakara Vimanam. So Vimanasaha is, the temple god, the Divya Mangala Vigraha. First Acharya at our home, and then next to the Acharya, Lord Almighty, in the what you call Archavatara form in the temples. Kalataha, according to the time, according to the prescribed time. So we have Panchakala Prakriya in the temple also, 5 time worship. So 5 time worship we can say, 5 timings we can say. So Kalataha, so Vimanastha. Then what about home? Swagrihe Sarvada Sevi. Any preceptor at home must also be worshipped every day. So Madhyaratram Vina Prabhu. Prabhu, you call a person, what you call householder or lord of the house. Mister of the house should avoid only midnight, Madhyaratram Vina. You cannot go and disturb the sleep of the preceptor and prostrate before. So Madhyaratram Vina, Prabhu, you have some status, very high status, financial, even what you call spiritual status. In spite of it, preceptor should be worshipped except during midnight all the time. That is worshipable preceptor, meaning having respect in the heart, giving him help, serving him in all ways. The respect that we show from our heart is more important than physical help. And we must have always a good thought of the preceptor. We never should find fault with the preceptor. We should not pick holes with the preceptor. So Madhyaratre api, supposing when we have to worship him at night, what is the time, reason? So Uparagadi, Nimitta Vishesha Sambhavi. There are 3 types of actions that we do: Nitya, Naimittika, and also Nimitta. It's called Uparaga is eclipse. During eclipse, lunar or solar, suppose it happens at midnight, we are supposed to worship the preceptor or at least remember the preceptor's divine feet. And then Vishesha, when that special occasion occurs, Snanadi Purvakam, you must take bath before the eclipse and after the eclipse also. So Snanadi Purvaka, Bhagavat Seva Japadikam. So now here why you worship the preceptor after taking bath. After taking bath, you do the worship of the Lord, Bhagavat Seva, then Japa. So the meditation by all the mantras that you know, then Avashya Kartavyataya. It is compulsory. It is mandatory. Vidhiyate. It has been prescribed. Iti na viroda. So don't say that midnight is avoided, therefore. So midnight is also not avoided sometimes because of the eclipse. So we will take up the next paragraph. एतौ च स्वाध्याययोगो आह्निकानुयागात् पूर्वमेव केषुचित् संहिताविशेषेषु समाहृत्य उपदिश्यते यथा संगृहीतम् उपदिश्येते यथा संगृहीतम् नारायणमुनिभिः. So as we understand while attending Pancaratra Raksa sessions, sometimes repetitions are there in order to give a stress to our schedule and also make us remember the duty. We must be duty conscious all the time. So now that sometimes we have repetitions. Again, Swadhyaya Yoga are treated here. So Anuyagaha, many people call it as Anuyagaha these days. That is aftermath of a sacrifice. What do you do after sacrifice? Remain quiet, idle, remain lethargic, remain lazy, or do you become busy? So busy, you must be busy even after Swadhyaya and Yoga. That's called Anuyoga. Remember what we did. Dote upon what we did. recall to your mind what we do. So again, the rotation, the cycle revolves. Anushtanam, Anushtanam, Anushtanam.
ராமானுஜதயாபாத்திரம் ஞான வைராக்கியபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேதிகம் கவிதார்க்கிகதிமாய கல்யாண குணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேதாய வேதாந்த குரவே நம ஆதித்வதிரோபங்க பஞ்சானன பராக்கிரம ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கடநாதார்ய இருஜதாபுவி ஈரொன்றுதோப்பும் திருவேங்கடமுடைய பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழிகள் ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வனேர ஓமளவும்
Fortunately, we have some contacts with musicians like Rajagopalan Swami from Chennai. I knew that already yesterday that a lady by name Dr. Vijayalakshmi from Madurai is a vice principal of music college there, and she is a member of our group in reciting Sri Adavabhyudayam, and she introduced me to another musician in Siviliputur, a lady by name Mrs. Uma, and therefore we are very lucky to associate ourselves. And for your kind information, very good news is my student in the MPhil degree, research degree in music, when she dealt with Harikeshanallur Muttaya Bhagavata's Navavarna Sankirtanas, I could help her, and therefore she now today from July she is the principal of Kalai Kaveri College of Fine Arts in Trichy, which is a Catholic Christian college, where fortunately because of God's blessings I could start a Sanskrit department, a full-fledged Sanskrit department, and a professor is appointed with a government salary and so on. And the second information is Dr. Vijayalakshmi did her PhD thesis in the same topic, Harikeshanallur Muttaya Bhagavata. And if you go to the internet, you will find very beautiful history background of Harikeshanallur Muttaya Bhagavata. He is one of the very great composers. He created 20 ragas, and for much is not much has not come out. I think many people do not know that so famous was the gentleman, very very efficient, very proficient, and then in music, and slowly we are getting exposed to that stalwarts, great stalwarts. That's what I wanted to say. So she also, her name is Dr. Uma Maheshwari. Dr. Uma Maheshwari, she has a daughter. She has become a grandma by her granddaughter, and then she is a Telugu lady, because she is able to understand. And even yesterday she asked me a question. Rajagopalan Swami of Chennai should answer this. Many composers, very able composers, used vibhakti of Sanskrit in their kirtanas. Now she was asking the question differently. whether the same vibhakti must be used in a single kirtana in order to give the meaning, intended meaning, or different vibhaktis in the same kirtana, or the different vibhaktis for different gods. There were three questions, and I quoted Kulashekara Alvar, Krishno Rakshatuno Jayatra Jagatraya Guru. So all the vibhaktis of Krishna come in Mukundamala by Kulashekara Alvar. Of course, it's a song, it's not a kirtana. So Muthuswami Deshar has written the Dvitiya Vibhakti, Kamalam Bam Bhajeham, and so on. So Dvitiya Vibhakti is the second, the what you call accusative case, Tamil Irandam Metrume, and so on. So any composer, any Vibhakti, as you see in train counters, any train, any counter, any destination. So any composer, any Vibhakti, any god can be used in kirtanas. There is no restriction because we say in Sanskrit a proverb, Nirankushaha Kavaya. They are not goaded by just like an elephant. So their hands are not tied. So Nirankushah Kavaya. So a Kavi has got a freedom to tell lies, beautiful lies, tell beautiful lies, and so on. Utpreksha. It's a fancy. He can be a very fancy man. So we understand very. And another lady who is the mother of our student in even Pancaratra or I think Deshika Stotras is in Australia, and she sang a song from Periyarvar's Chalar Pilar in the Raga Tilang at our home, and she is from Tirukudandai, otherwise known popularly as Kumbakonam. So such associations are very pleasant. So thank you very much for.
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ॐ नमो नारायणाय ॐ नमो नारायणाय ॐ नमो नारायणाय ॐ नमो